The first new moon of 2023 is here in Aquarius, and it is happening on January 22nd, 2023. In this video, I'm going to be going over the top things you need to know and how this new moon is going to affect you 3 days before, the day of, and 3 days after. I'll be channeling messages through a card reading, and I'm even gonna have a little bit of a moon ritual, plants, and all the things to make sure that you are all prepared for your practice with these amazing new moon. So before we get into the video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share with your friends, and comment down below, are you an Aquarius? Do you have an Aquarius sun, moon, rising? Let me know down below, where does Aquarius fall in your chart? And if you're just here in your different sign, like, put it down below. Let's connect. Let's see what our signs are. What are people? Scorpios, Leos, Gemini, where you at? Now, let me just tell you something, guys. I recorded this video and I recorded it in 3 parts. The first part somehow did not transfer, so I'm currently just doing the intro bit. Luckily, the second part, which is the actual biggest, juiciest part of the reading, did save on my camera, as well as the last part, so I got you. But yeah, get yourself a tea, get yourself a coffee, get comfortable. Well, not coffee right now, because we're not about that coffee. I'm not in the caffeine. Let's say tea or cacao. Let's stay with that energy. But if you want caffeine, that's you, boo. But I am so excited to talk about this. Also, I want to share with you guys that my medicine retreats are out and available. I'm so excited to connect with you guys, get to meet you in person, and to hold space with you in medicine retreats. So you can go down below and you can look at the medicine retreat that you feel called to apply, and I will send you an email if you are invited to the space, if you get into the thing, and you can come to the retreat, and that is it. So let's get into this video. So this Aquarius new moon, sorry, I just hit the mic there, is going to be an energy of understanding everything about justice, freedom, expansion, breaking. We're talking like breaking down the walls of ancestral patterns, breaking down the walls of old ways of work, old beliefs of working, old beliefs of hard work and success, breaking the old beliefs of home. What is home to us? How do we want to define home? Inner home. And also the most important thing, which is the first thing that you need to know about this Aquarius new moon and how it will affect you 3 days before, the day of, and 3 days after, is feeling unfairness. This Aquarius new moon is going to bring up the sense of unfairness, and in 2 categories. So if you have felt unfair in the past, maybe through a breakup, through a relationship, maybe from a friendship just not pulling through, then we have this part that's happening, which is going to connect with the card that I'll share with you guys in the second part of my channel messages. And then the second part, which is tuning into the part of focus and action. Enough talk, let's act. And this is going to be in the maiden card that you're going to see in the next bit. Now, one of the biggest things I'm going to share with you guys is tuning into, where do you feel like you have been a victim to your situation? That energy is left behind. We finished that last season, guys. Now it's time to act against being a victim and more into an empowering space. And this is where this new moon, my hand's getting tired. This new moon is really going to impact you the most. The last bit with the mating, again, I'm just feeling like there's just like blocking off, like this energy of blocking off, lack of trusting in the heart, opening up the heart, compassion for self. But specifically, if you come from a lineage of divorce, you come from a lineage of cheating, whether it's through you or through your mother or through a grandmother or a secret, family secret, that's going to be unveiled. That's going to be coming up. That's that freedom. Those secrets, family secrets, are going to come up. And in doing that, it's going to bring this like, okay, we're done with this. This pattern ends with me here. And I think this is going to be really empowering. Ooh, I did not add that in that bit when I recorded. So maybe this is a sign that it's good that I'm recording this part for you guys in this channel message. It feels like it's also like a sense of permission for like, we're clearing a lot of grief and pain that comes from this lack of freedom that you have suppressed yourself from or felt suppressed from. And it's all from here, feeling the burden of someone who broke up or hurt themselves, or maybe that is you yourself. So yeah, just really tuning into, where do you feel this unfairness in your life, in your past? How is it coming? Some clues that will be helpful for you is maybe there are people from that group of friends or the actual person that contacts you 3 days before, the day of, and 3 days after. They come in a dream, or they come in a thought, like just even me talking to you, doing this reading, it comes into a thought, okay? So that's the first thing that comes up for this Aquarius new moon, 3 days before, the day of, and 3 days after. Okay, let's start with the reading part in the next clip. Sorry guys, my phone, for some reason my phone wasn't, my camera was not focusing, so I had to restart it, that part. Okay, back to channeling. Woo, we're here. So this one is really the Shield Maiden. Is really telling us to make plans and to focus. So for those of you who are mostly more in your feminine energy, this is calling you to really come and take into the masculine. I do want to remind you guys that we recently just finished a retrograde. We finished a retrograde. This was not a time to sign contracts. This was not a time for us to do, which for our human was a little bit difficult because in the human plane, it was the beginning of the year. But I always say that there's no new and ending and beginning. It just continues. Like, it doesn't matter if it's 2023, 2026, whatever the new year is, we can start new things, whatever is right for us. Anyways, I digress. So this one is really telling us for our, current situation, what are the new things that we wanted to really put into intention? Some of you have been tired of struggling. Some of you are really tired of having things to be hard in life, and you're like, I'm done with that. So what this is telling you is like, what are you going to do to make new changes? Maybe some of you are creating a new side hustle. Maybe some of you are changing your business completely, like it's nothing like you've ever done before. I'm seeing kind of a spreadsheet that's coming up as well. So maybe some of you are like channeling spreadsheet, getting those numbers in and really just looking at like, how do I want to bring in abundance with something that I enjoy or something that I'm being called to learn more about and to create. So here it's definitely calling into the Shield Maiden, make plans. Don't just be talk. Spirit's like do. It's time to like do. What do you need to do to be fair? Like, we can't just sit here and complain life's unfair, it's a struggle, blah blah blah. Like, Spirit's like, we gotta get this done. So that's just Spirit's message. Just don't come at the person who's saying it. So if that resonates with you, put a a little clover down below. Now, those of you that this is a past situation, so Aquarius new moon, 3 days before the day of and 3 days after, if you have felt unfair in the past and maybe someone related to this situation, maybe the actual person or someone part of that friend group or community reaches out to you 3 days before the day of and 3 days after, or they come up just popping up, or you have this dream about them, or you're like, I've never thought of them. Well, honey, this is an opportunity to bring some healing of this unfairness. So it's definitely saying the heart guardian. So love and let yourself be loved. So maybe in the past, because of the way you were treated, and maybe you were very giving in this relationship, like I feel like you really gave your heart. When I'm feeling like you gave a lot, whether that was materialistic, whether it's emotionally, mentally, whatever way that you supported. If this resonates with you during this Aquarius new moon, it's really calling you to be like, open your heart, let love in, like trust. How can I trust that love doesn't have to be unfair? That people who love me, that people who show interest in me isn't just for the wrong reasons, isn't just for, a little fun time. Like I am worthy enough to get love and be loved beyond anything, to such a deep soul connection. Some of you are actually going to be getting introduced to someone who's a divine union, and you might not know who the person's going to be your divine union the moment you meet them, but there will be that like little aha moment that's going to happen. So some of you are going to meet your person. It's exciting. So that's really big. The other part that channeled in for me for this Aquarius new moon for us guys, January 22nd, 2023, is that fairness. Fairness means one's feelings to feel, and they are having less or too much of X. So what, just to break that down, because sometimes I channel and I'm like, let me just put that into English. So fairness in this Aquarius new moon, it's telling us that when we feel unfair, when we feel like something's imbalanced, we then go into the space of complaining and being kind of like this, like, woe is me, victimhood. So again, here, this heart guardian is really coming in, guys, the heart chakra. If you've been maybe cheated on in the past, if you've been like a friend didn't come through the way they were supposed to, maybe a family member, maybe they don't usually come through the way that you want them to. During this Aquarius new moon is asking you to let it down. Let go of that rage, let go of that anger, let go of that jealousy that they gave that person more attention than you did. Just coming into forgiveness. Forgiveness is coming up. I'm going to read one specific part of this card that's like really screaming to me. Sorry, I'm looking for the book. Shield Maiden. Heart Guardian, because this one is I think this is really important for a lot of you guys. So we have 104. When we add 104 together, that's 5. So change of perspective and forgiveness. Welcome your open arms opportunities and give love and receive. So this is essentially an angel of relationships. And here where she's draping that love onto her heart, like she's kind of holding the drape. It's like this tenderness that she's holding her heart. She kind of gives me a Mary Magdalene vibes. I don't know if that resonates with you guys, or if any of you connect with that, that will really help you with this. If you are working on a relationship or a new relationship, this card is ushering your energies to forge powerful connections with this partnership. Love is in the air, so you're gonna get some more romance. This is an invitation to open your heart more so your partner can hold you more, to open your heart more so your friendships can hold you more, so it doesn't have to be unfair. How are you closing yourself off so then the person can only give you as much as they have access to? Woo, that's deep. Okay, so the second thing we need to know about this Aquarius new moon, January 22nd, 2023, is that what does freedom mean to you? What is the word freedom? Free, like to be free, free from something, open to something. Like, what does that word mean? And I just want you guys to write down the first thing that comes up with the word freedom for you. Now we have 2 cards that came out for this freedom card, and we have feel loved and comforted and wait for the important information. So I'm going to start with wait with the important information. So for some of you, maybe you don't know just yet as you're watching this video, or maybe you do, what that freedom looks like, but we're really focusing on self-rights, values, communicating needs. Those are going to be very helpful for you, specifically anything that is heart-centered. So with your heart, and anything that is centered around business and changing structure and environment. So, and this will go into the plants that I'll talk about later that you guys can use for your rituals and how to use them. But this one's really asking you, like, what does freedom mean? And that might be a great shadow work prompt. Let's add that. Write that down as a shadow work prompt to reflect on for this ritual, as a ritual for you. So you can just write down, like, what does freedom mean to me? What does it mean to me? What does it look like for me? Which reminds me, I have a big surprise for you guys to help you with the moon. It's probably going to be announced in the meditation video I'm going to post for you. So make sure you add yourself to the email list down below so you're the first, because there's going to be a surprise for you all in the email list. The other card that came out is Earth Mother. So feel loved and comforted. Again, there's so much heart energy that's coming up. It's like this warrior energy, I feel like, of fighting and fighting for love, fighting because you feel a fear of abandonment. There's a bit of jealousy that's coming up a bit too. Like, I know that at this point the year would have started, so people are kind of, oh sorry, just my legs kind of getting tired there, but I know at this point this is kind of where people start to compare ourselves, compare to our own values, and there's also unfair and unrealistic goals. Okay, we need to sit with ourselves and make goals that actually make sense to us, not what makes sense to what people are saying that we need to do, right? We need to set the intention for ourselves, not looking at other people. What is that? Like, let's not do that. So feel loved and comforted. Have compassion for yourself in times where you are unfair to yourself. This is really big. And this could be unfair as far as, like, maybe you're working on being more healthy and you're being unfair that you're not losing the weight quicker, or maybe that you just started your business and no one has posted the link or no one has bought your product. Maybe it's unfair of being like, okay, I expressed to my partner that I want to have these things in our relationship, and you feel like they're not showing up the way they are. They're just letting that information sink. So be fair to yourself and to others as well. And what's that's going to help is just really reminding yourself, what is freedom? What does that mean to you? The third thing you need to know about this Aquarius new moon, January 22nd, 2022, 3 days before the day of and 3 days after, and how it will affect you, is what devotion are you expecting from yourself and from someone else? So devotion is huge because we have the Capricorn energy, and we also still, like, we're finishing that Capricorn energy at that point, but we have the Capricorn energy, and then we also have Aquarius. So it's like we're getting the last bit of what the Cancer full moon was bringing us, which was like devotion. And like I said, some of you guys are getting your partnerships or your relationships to show or do something unexpected for you that's going to really show that they're here, and it's going to make you trust a little bit. Maybe might even be like a little like healing for you in this process. So devotion and expectations is like Spirit's really calling us to be devoted to our journey as much as we expect other people. And the best way to find out how you can devote and what those expectations are is to connect with the element of water. So water, and any water signs, this is going to resonate with you, the message I'm going to channel for you. So connecting with your emotions and trust and thrive. Okay, so we have the stag energy here. So it's like trust and thrive, focusing on trusting, focusing on thriving. You know, one thing someone told me, and I think this really resonates, and I've heard it time and time again, there's a difference between small things and big things, small issues and big issues. We make a lot of small things big things, right? So at the end of the day, we need to look at how we devote to things on a whole, not just, you know, 1 minute, one time we messed up. We need to look at the devotion overall, right? There's a difference between someone who's devoted for just like a few days and then eventually gets off when they feel unfair, when they feel like something happens. We have to harmonize as humans. So what this Aquarius new moon is telling us is to create new values around what we can devote to ourselves to make ourselves feel more joyous and more free in our spirit, in our soul. People don't want money to buy more things. People want money to be free, if you think about it, right? That's really why people do it. So again, this is where this year for a lot of people is understanding that there was this like kind of this broken system that we've been taught at school and in the world. And now it's like, okay, this old pilgrimage, these old systems, which goes into the fourth thing you need to know about this Aquarius new moon on January 22nd, 2023, is that these old systems are creating a domino effect in the sense of breaking, and we're starting to have more and more exposure. We're starting to see more people with human trafficking coming in and being exposed of the, you know, the divine masculine being called as a divine masculine starts to heal more. And this is why divine masculine, hey, what's up? I'm talking to you. The souls that have a divine masculine in their life, I have a divine masculine retreat that is happening this spring. Please come. I invite you. This is to heal and support you in your divine masculine. All that information too applies down below. So this is kind of where we're seeing that. We're seeing this domino effect. We're seeing old structures. We're seeing secrets being exposed. Again, you thought it was like deep the last 2 years. It's going to get a little bit deeper. But in doing that, there's this fire that comes in all of us that's making us teach us and see like, okay, how have we adapted and how have we instilled prints of unfairness through this old pilgrimage? As they fall, so do the beliefs in ourselves, and they create an awakening of people. So again, leaving those things, leaving yourself from the shackles, I'm seeing almost like a breaking free, like you're breaking yourself free from something. And this something is something that is structured in your environment that you spend a lot of your time in, whether it's at home, at work, something during this month, like focus on where did I spend the most time in my life during this time. This is what's going to really affect you and really show with you, okay, it's time to free myself. It's time to be free. The last thing you need to know about this Aquarius new moon on January 22nd, 2023 is that this is a great time to book a session, whether it's being held or even just getting a friend to sit and hold space for you. This is something that is like a necessity for me now, is really being held by my soul community and family. And I know not everyone has this accessible. So whether that is booking, you know, a therapy session or perhaps getting a space holder to hold you, this is a really great time to do that and just maybe add an extra little more love and recognition of being seen and held in a time of healing. So I want to hold one of the wisdom oracles and just talk a little bit more about what exactly, as far as like being held in space for this Aquarius new moon, is going to help you. Okay, we got some cards, a lot of feminine cards. I just want to say how every card that we've gotten so far has been a feminine archetype. So this is a lot about emotions that are coming up, specifically on emotions that are holding us shackled from our freedom, what we think is being holding us back, but actually it's just us knowing that, again, these are just small things that can help us get clarity, and we don't have to feel like it's the end all be all, is really what it comes down to. So the first card that we got here is 13, so 1-3. So anyone seeing ones or threes, 3-3-3, 1-1-1, or maybe 13 itself. or even the number 13 if this represents a lot for you. So this is fork in the road. So this card is just representing that you're kind of in a space where you're making a decision, and this decision is really being like, or do you want to hold the resentment of feeling jealousy or anger or feeling unfair or feeling unseen, or do you want to finally let that go and step into a space of compassion through your heart by opening and letting yourself be loved by yourself and by other people? And what is also coming up for this Aquarius new moon is almost like this freedom from a long lineage of feminine beings. So for example, if you are the first one to do things differently, whether that is in relationships, whether that is in stability, whether that is in your career, and in doing that, you have gotten a lot of emotional judgment for that. And that's really put a lot of hinder on yourself. This is the mending card. So the mending card represents specifically if there's a mother-daughter relationship, or like someone that is a feminine archetype that is a huge impact in your life, or you, it represents you. It's just saying that there's going to be some deep mending and healing that is going to happen. And there's going to be a huge karmic ancestral break, anything that is related to closing your heart. So for example, maybe the experience of seeing your parents go through a divorce, or seeing your family member go through something really triumph, or something around heart-centered space. Maybe it's a father, a mother figure, or maybe even your grandparents. Like that karma is getting an opportunity to clear out, and seeing, instead of being a victim to those experiences and those events that happened and affected you, now it's time to clear it. And you have a decision, again, decision of mending, a decision of healing, a decision of freeing yourself from this burden and from this shackle that you're feeling. It's almost like you're breaking free through this old paradigm. So I definitely see with this Aquarius new moon, for a lot of us, there's a lot on two things. So heart-centered, really focusing on the heart, opening the heart, receiving love, tuning into this pain of jealousy and abandonment and letting that go from the past. And for those in the present moment, this is also bringing up a lot of focus. So here it's really talking about like focusing emotionally what's coming up for you, so then you can really tune into, you know, communicating what your needs are, so you can feel more free, feel more at peace, which is the next card that I get. Which is the peace card. We have the cosmic egg here, which represents like an abundance of different opportunities and options that you have. And with the dove, it's definitely a representation of love. So again, we're really seeing relationships be a big part of this Aquarius new moon. Community, relationships, intimate relationships specifically. Let's see if there's any other themes coming out for this card, for this Aquarius. Okay, so we have 3 other cards that came out. So the observer card. So the observer and there's a fox here, which means that adaptability. So what this card is representing is just observing emotionally where you're at in your journey. Just gonna go here. Perfect. So observing emotionally where you are in your journey. And here it's really saying that after the new moon, because we do have like a half moon here, crescent or waning moon. So this is just representing that between the next, this new moon and the full moon, you are going to get an opportunity to observe what you're healing right now, to observe what you've taken action on, to observe how your heart has opened and what could happen when you open your heart. There is going to be a ripple effect from this Aquarius new moon that is going to make you feel a little bit more balanced after this time. The fates is really coming into that what is meant to happen will happen. So what is meant to happen as far as, you know, your current situation, or if you're feeling unclarity with anything in romance, or perhaps in a decision with a business structure or an environment of home, that will be cleared. That will be brought to clarity after this. The last card I have is regeneration. So just remembering that there's a lot of great mystery happening right now. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of things being recreated at this time of the Aquarius new moon, 3 days before the day of and 3 days after of January 22nd, 2023. So this card is really telling us that, you know, there's a lot happening, even collectively, guys. There's so much shifting on a collective level. And I think we're still adapting to it so much. Again, this is going to be such a potent, explosive, energetic year for the collective, which means that a lot of us are again being called to step outside of our comfort zone. We spent the past few years being uncomfortable, being in uncertainty. Now it's like we are free because we're understanding that uncertainty isn't the issue. The issue is us not being able to understand that everything, whether it's considered definite or not, is always uncertain. That's the great mystery of life. If us humans knew everything, we wouldn't have a meaning, a remembering, or a reason why to be here. So this Aquarius new moon is like this freedom, this justice, this empowering energy, this newness that's coming up. And I do want to remind you that for me, I think in the spiritual world of energy and astrology, the new moon, or like the new year, sorry, is coming in around this time. So just being mindful of this new season that is coming in right now. Now that I've went through what you need to know for this Aquarius new moon, let's go a little bit deeper on some rituals and things that you can do. So I have had 3 plants that channeled in for you guys to work with, and I'll share with you how to use them for this Aquarius new moon on January 22nd, 2023, 3 days before the day of and 3 days after. So the first one is rose. The rose came in specifically a nice reddish rose, or even a nice bright pink rose came in the vision. And this rose represents the energy of compassion towards jealousy or feeling of FOMO. So feeling like we're missing out. It brings the essence of love, and it can help us open our heart and also allow us to open ourselves more to our lovers and to our friendships and relationships. It can also bring more compassion to ourselves. So connecting with the rose element, whether that's through meditation, maybe having some dry rose in your bath, or even having some rose essence to use in your diffuser, or having a rose scent. This is going to help you with the intention if you do feel triggered by opening your heart or something in the past that's coming up that is heart-centered, heart-related. This is going to be helpful for you. The second plant that I have is kava, and kava is a spiritual clarity. It's a relaxation. It's a calming. It relaxes the mind. It prevents the mind from over analyzing and getting into a loop. So with the other card that I got at the beginning for you guys on focusing and taking action, this card is really just saying right now, what are you taking action on to allow yourself to be free, to allow yourself to create the life that you want currently, to create new structures, to create new paradigms beyond the ancestral patterns that you have, beyond your old past self. What is coming up here for you? So kava can be used, whether that is through recipes. Kava can also be used through incense. I've seen people have kava incense, tinctures. So there's different ways of using kava, and this one's a beautiful one for just spiritual clarity, specifically on people who are going through a huge spiritual awakening during this Aquarius new moon, and specifically with people who have Aquarius placements. You might be gravitating to the kava because this is going to just help you feel grounded as you're being challenged with what you already know and being brought to new knowing, new perspective, new philosophy. The last plant that channeled in for you guys for this Aquarius new moon that you can use for your moon ritual for this new moon is the basil. Basil is one of my favorite plants to work with. It helps with so many elements, but I'm only going to focus on the main one specifically for this Aquarius new moon. So basil is great for energetic clearing. If you feel like you are someone who is a space holder or someone who is exposed to a lot of different energies and people around this time, especially as you are mending and healing, and maybe your old version of yourself is still attached to the old life, the old communities, the old support systems, and you're being called to shed that a little bit, especially with this Cancer full moon. We had some core cutting happening. So that is still integrating for some of you. So this is a great time to, bring some home protection. You can bring basil, whether that is growing it in the house, or you can actually have it in scents or have it in as bundles and make little satchels to put it in certain corners of your home, almost like gridding it is what I see, like bringing crystal grids into your home, but also putting basil and cleansing the space. This is great for business protection and allowing yourself to be protected as well with your wealth and prosperity. It brings wealth and prosperity and ensures that you attract aligned things in your life. So this could be also used whether it is through cooking with basil, or you can even put basil as like a tea, steeping it and put it into a bath with other herbs that you feel called to. Again, like I said, I am really excited because I have something excited that I am going to be launching and announcing that is going to help you work even deeper with the moon. So add yourself to the email list so you do not miss out on that, guys. It's going to be so good. I feel like that is it for this reading. Let me double check the cards, but let me know what resonated with you for this Aquarius new moon. It is a very powerful one. There's going to be a lot going on energetically again in the collective, but again, remember to remind yourself on your own world. Focus on you. I think that's the biggest thing, and don't get too wrapped up on everyone else's problems, because you know, we got to focus on ourselves with compassion, and I think that's really, really important. So we got 2 cards. We have last cards from your guides and your ancestors. So ignite your passions. So remembering that in times of unfairness, in times of anger and jealousy, ask yourself, what is our why? Remembering back to that, you know, instead of being a fighter, I always like to say a warrior is not a fighter. A warrior is a lover. It's someone who can bring their heart so open, can be so vulnerable, and can be shown in such depth. That is strength. Strength isn't this idea that we've been taught that being too emotional is like, oh, too much, and it's not strong enough, and you're weak. Those are all the things they want us to know, because we know that emotions are the most powerful thing. It's where we get connected with all beings, all souls, all animals, all dimensions, is the emotions that are here. The last card is the eagle. So I'm going to say this is our totem animal for this Aquarius new moon. Again, we're still in this human world new energy, but we're also entering the spiritual new cycle. So here it's really telling us like eagle's eye. So it's representing the third eye, but it's also representing your perspective overall. You are overlooking a higher perspective. It almost feels like there's like Christ consciousness or light consciousness or whatever you want to call it, whatever resonates with you. There is some kind of like guardian god or Orishan that's like supporting you a lot and channeling and doing some upgrades, and in doing that you're bringing a lot of questions, and again, this is what's bringing up this unfairness. I also feel like some of you are clearing a past life of unfairness, of unworthiness around this time of the Aquarius new moon. So again, the eagle is going to help you understand how this life, how this past life, how this karmic part is being cleared. And again, it's going to be one of those things that is just going to naturally unravel. It's not like you're going to have to do a million things or go deep and do a whole bunch of rituals. Just be mindful of how the eagle is supporting you, and call into the eagle totem to help you with perspective of what you are mending right now, what clearing you're having, because again, we're still clearing some things, and you are still in this energy of putting down and bringing peace, putting down your sword and bringing peace into this world. So again, remember, how can we be the light for ourselves and for others around us? So I hope you guys enjoyed this Aquarius new moon energy update and what you can expect 3 days before, the day of, and 3 days after, as well as the plants. Let me know down below what resonated with you. Don't forget to share this video, like, subscribe, put notification bell so you don't miss a video. I'm going to be posting a distance energy healing meditation, so make sure you put those notifications and subscribe so you don't miss it. I love doing them for you guys, and you guys really enjoyed the last one, and this one's going to be really, really potent and so powerful. Also, if you are interested in my retreats, my medicine retreats, I have 6 retreats I am hosting this year, and I would love to see you there. Divine masculine, inner child, divine feminine. There's so many different intentions and retreats. Go and check it out, and you can apply. Just fill out the Google form, and then I will message you if it is a good fit and you win with the applications. The application goes well. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I love you all so much. I think that's it. I'm going to wrap it up. Have a beautiful Aquarius new moon, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.